The point of sale is where customers and merchants interact to complete a transaction. In a world where online shopping is becoming more prevalent, the point of sale should be a quick and painless experience to help keep in-person shopping competitive. Contactless payments achieve exactly this, but they come with costs for the merchant that are sometimes passed on to the consumer. Today, we'll be talking about our solution to making contactless payments more available, MyPOS. Kia ora, my name is Sam, and I'm joined by my teammates Sumanth, Sumika, and Reetan. Together, we're Team SVSM. Contactless payments are something that most of us are probably quite familiar with. You place your card or smart device near the reader at a terminal, and they communicate via near-field communication, or NFC, to complete the transaction. Contactless payments are very common nowadays. In 2019, they made up 20% of in-person payments in New Zealand and 55% in Australia. Recent trends have been positive. Between 2018 and 2020, contactless card payments increased in use in New Zealand by 62%. Over a similar period, the percentage of New Zealanders carrying no cash around nearly doubled. The pandemic has only accelerated this upward trend, with the use of contactless payment methods encouraged by the World Health Organization. The growth in customer preference for contactless payments should justify businesses offering this payment method. In fact, research suggests that 63% of customers would switch to a business offering contactless payment options. They're also secure and they save time for businesses. There are, however, barriers stopping some retailers from adopting contactless payment methods. There are many fees involved, several of which are wrapped up as merchant fees and paid to the bank. These average at about 1.1% per transaction in New Zealand and 0.6% in Australia. Another important fee that most businesses have to worry about is the cost of leasing an EFTPOS machine, which is between 30 to 40 NZD per month plus GST. There's also a price limit for contactless payments before a PIN has to be entered, which may limit the benefits for some businesses. It's clear that cost is the key issue here, but merchant fees and payment limits are subject to banks and government regulations. The cost of leasing a device is what our solution combats. We particularly want to target SMEs who may not have the funds to lease a device that has contactless payments enabled. We estimate that there are more than 500,000 SMEs across Australia and New Zealand that are lacking a contactless payment option and could benefit from our solution. I'll now pass on to Sumanth to talk about that solution and our marketing strategy.
All right, thank you, Sam. So as Sam mentioned, all the variables that play in for a SME's profit, we look at Raj, who is an SME owner of a food truck company located in central Auckland, obviously quite a busy area. And unfortunately, he only accepts payments via cash and an EFTPOS card. So just looking at Raj's pain points and how we can help him. So the first pain point he faces is with the recent changes in consumer behavior post-COVID, everyone's a bit hesitant to touch surfaces that have been touched by the general public. So in this case, it would be the PIN pad if he was using a card reader. And also as he's located in central Auckland, he has quite, his customer demographic is youth aged between 18 to 25. So all quite busy people who only come in for about 5 minutes, want a quick bite and go out. So obviously if you're making them taking out their card and paying, they would be a bit more hesitant and it would be not really a seamless process for them. And the reason why Raj isn't able to get an NFC payment system going on is, as Sam discussed, the high transaction fees which cut into his profits. So this is where we come in with MyPOS. So with MyPOS, what we're doing is all Raj would have to do is go onto the App Store and download an application, whether that's on Play Store or App Store. And with this, he would be able to convert or turn his phone into an NFC reader where his customers could just come in and tap their card or use their Apple Pay or Google Pay or Visa or MasterCard, therefore harnessing this NFC system within his phone. This would therefore lead to faster and also safer transactions and also a much seamless and optimal customer experience. So the key features that we would be offering with MyPOS is obviously the minimal transaction fee and also the minimal monthly subscription fee, which is much more competitive than the current players in the market. Also a very flexible and scalable point of sale system where this MyPOS app can be used across all varieties of an SME market. And also along with the paid subscription charges, Raj would also be getting a 24/7 customer support and also an analytics and inventory insights where we would create dashboards for him, which would tell him how his monthly sales are going, and also make it easier for him to take inventory. This would also make it a lot easier for him if he was to go and pay an external business consultant, because he has all the data in one place. He can provide it to them and obviously use their services much quicker. MyPOS also gives us a very sustainable practice, as we are offering a QR receipt system. So there's less paper waste. There's also less transportation costs, as we're not really making machines. And this would pretty much decrease the total e-waste that we produce. And looking at our SME demographic, from our research, we saw that a large majority of SME owners in ANZ were actually aged between 45 and 59. So we would want to make getting this app a lot more easier and less complicated for them. So our marketing strategy would basically mainly be organic, so using LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and obviously word of mouth, where all they would have to do is, once they see the ad on these on the social media platform, just click on the link and make it very easy for them to download the app. I will now pass it on to Sumika, who will go through the architecture behind our system.
All right, thanks, Sumant. So the implementation of our service will be carried out using Amazon Web Services. Specifically, our architecture makes use of these 5 services, and they are Amplify to construct our CLI, Lambda to generate and display insights on data and transactions, Dynamo, which is a database to store the information associated with the transactions, and Cognito and KMS, providing security for the users of MyPOS. So this is a layout of the expected architecture that our solution will make use of. Transactions occur through the applications that we will develop, either an Android app or a web app, as will be discussed later. And the security of these transactions will be ensured using AWS's KMS and Cognito services. AWS Lambda will be used for computations and insights, while transaction data will be stored in AWS Dynamo. This is done with encryption for added security. In order to produce our actual applications for the vendors and owners of SMEs, we plan to develop 2 interfaces. The first is a web application developed using JavaScript. Here, business owners and managers can access transaction data and insight into sales, as well as manage subscription details. The second interface is an Android application to be developed using React Native. This interface will contain the Smart POS terminal with several other features, including pay-by-link options, QR code receipts, and the standard FPOS functionalities such as surcharging, cash out, and refunds. We also suggest a partnership with Visa and MasterCard, the 2 largest payment software companies. A partnership with them would guarantee a larger outreach of our service. I now pass it on to Haridam to talk about the implementation of our service.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Sumika. Looking at the business model for MyPOS, one of our biggest advantages is that we are a software-based solution, which means that we have no inventory or overheads to worry about. Our app comes at a cost of $20 per month, alongside a small transaction fee of 0.2% per transaction. Compared to a traditional FPOS solution, this can save businesses upwards of $3,000 per year. Our next steps would be to hire a development team and work towards creating a MVP, which we can use to apply to the Visa and MasterCard contactless programs. We then enter a beta release and testing phase. We hope to release our app within 9 months to the ANZ market. From then on, we will focus on managing the user experience and growing our client base. Looking at the financial projections, we are aiming to have up 100 monthly active users within 10 months of launch. We take a little longer to break even, but the key for us is to offer a fully functional service to our customers at a competitive price. By the end of 2024, we expect to make $900,000 in profits. The value that MyPOS brings to its customers cannot be overstated. Surveys have shown that businesses that offer contactless transactions experience double the growth of those without these services. Merchants will be left satisfied with the simple and elegant point-of-sale system in place, and the customers will be happy to keep coming back. With that, thank you for considering MyPOS, and thank you for watching.